Welcome to Who Dinks Wins from the Special Pickleball Service with me, Coach Beresford.
Me, Coach
Me, Coach.
Montgomery. Not you, me. I'm
Oh,
next.
why are you next?
Should we try again?
I
We
thought
just go clock. We go clockwise, don't we?
well, I'm second in the clock, but
We're
you're
in
on
the
the
north.
Yeah.
We're in the northern hemisphere, so it's clockwise.
yeah, but in mine, I'm
I
on
don't
the clock.
mind. I'm not proud. You can
You're
go next
next.
if you
You're
want.
second.
I'm second. All right.
Welcome to Who Dinks Wins from the Special Pickleball Service with me, Coach Beresford.
Me, Coach Montgomery.
And me, Coach Philip.
And this week we're discussing life changes. When is it too late to try something new? I've just moved to the Bay Area at 52, so I'm down in Berkeley, having made the leap from Los Gatos. Montgomery moved to Calab. Oh, fuck me! I'll start the whole thing again. Welcome to Who Dinks Wins from the Special Pickleball Service with me, Coach Beresford.
Me, Coach Montgomery.
And me, Coach Philip.
And for the first time, we're trying something completely new. We are recording remotely from different parts of the Bay. And
Ooh.
in this week's episode, we're discussing what it's like to try something new later on in life. When is it too late to try something new? So recently, I just moved from my comfort zone of Los Gatos to a whole new way of living down in Berkeley, where everything is completely different.
We miss you.
Hmm?
Well, I
We
mean,
miss you already. Oh, bless you. And I know
how
that.
is it that different then?
How is
Tell
it
us. Has
different?
it just got lots of hippies wandering around smoking dope, or?
Well, yeah, university kids as well, but yeah, the whole vibe is completely different. It's odd in the Bay Area. You can up where you are in Los Gatos, it's usually a lot hotter. Down here, it's cooler. We're only about an hour's drive in good traffic,
I
but
tell you what, it's pretty cold at the moment. Bloody hell, it's
yeah,
freezing.
actually, it's freezing this morning.
Yeah.
But the lifestyle is completely different, and shaking yourself up from what you're used to in your comfort zone to doing something completely new, especially later on in life, it always feels like a bit
Yeah,
of a
well,
jerk to
it's well
system.
worth it. Well worth it. It's always worth just taking a risk. I mean, within reason, obviously, you don't want to leave a massively high paying job to not work at all and have no income, which is what
Oh,
I did when
I did that.
I did that when I did that when I moved to Ibiza, and was surrounded by millionaires and couldn't afford to go out ever. So that wasn't a great idea. But yeah, you know, life is very short and getting shorter, and you always need to take these chances while you can, within reason. Obviously, family is an important aspect. You took your family with you. I came to America
In America.
without my kids, which is hard, but they're grown ups. They're in London. They're doing their own thing. But yeah, it was an adventure. That's the way we both look at it, as an
But you
adventure.
were but you were 60 when you did that. And
Yeah.
that's like
How
I
dare
mean,
you?
you don't look it, by the way, but you are.
Pretty much do. But yeah, was I 60? Yeah. I was, yeah. But I've always been young at heart.
Hmm.
Yeah. And you, Philip, I mean, you were what, in your late 30s when you moved to America, I guess?
It's
Yeah,
40
actually
years ago, blimey.
mid 30s when I up sticks and moved out here chasing down a lady, and
Chasing down a lady.
yeah,
Sorry.
but I moved to Southern California, so I moved to Newport Beach, Costa Mesa from London, and yeah, massive difference. But I just loved it almost right away. I really felt like,
Had you
gee.
been out a few times before to
Uh,
scope it
I
out?
had been to the US a few times, but I lived in Australia for a year when I was 18, 19. So I knew that sort of the climate and that I really liked.
Were you a surf dude?
Not really. I
All
mean, I
right.
learned to surf, but I don't enjoy it very much. You know, I like other sports over surfing.
Right,
Yeah.
so I guess Newport Beach wasn't that different to Australia in a lot of ways, I suppose,
No, no, it was
wise.
really similar. Yeah, it was awesome. Just the whole beach thing, volleyball on the beach, body surfing, riding your bike along the beach, all that stuff was
Yeah, how
just
much fun is beach volleyball? It's fantastic, isn't it? Two
so good,
against two.
right?
I know.
Yeah.
I
That's
love it.
And
literally the third time in about two episodes you've mentioned beach volleyball, Mark. I'm
But
starting to worry about what.
we were yeah, that was female beach volleyball before. We're talking about men
Oh, okay.
getting cornballed. Um,
Okay.
which is when you're sweaty and you jump on the ground to get a shot and you get covered in sand. I believe it's called cornballed. There you go. I used to do a lot of that when I was in LA in the 80s. I
Oh,
had a
you were there
job.
then? What were you doing
Yeah,
there?
I had a job car detailing with this
No
guy.
way. Whereabouts?
So around Malibu. So the cars were like unbelievable. And so we used to spend all morning car detailing Jags and Porsches and stuff, and then spend all
Ah,
afternoon beach volleyball.
in
It's
your
great.
budgie smugglers.
No, I didn't go that far, but yeah, I could wear them in those days. These days,
And
no,
now
I couldn't wear them now. They'd probably disappear.
get deported.
I don't think there's ever a right time to wear budgie smugglers, I've got to say.
Or a
But
mankini.
thanks
We'll probably
boys for
have to put a
joining me.
caption up about what, budgie smugglers are.
I think people can use their imagination to discern what budgie smugglers probably are.
I've retaken up the sport of dirt bike riding. So that's
Was that
been,
motorbikes?
yeah, motorbikes off-road, electric and electric ones. So I've been
Oh,
had my bike stolen about 6 years ago from a lockup, like storage unit down south. And my friend had had it for 10 years because I didn't want to ride while I had young kids. So I got this electric bike a few weeks ago, and I've been out getting back in the dirt. I've been out a couple of times, scaring myself.
well, you've got it's an electric bike, dirt
Electric
bike,
dirt bike, yeah,
and that's
60
it's
horsepower
pretty
is
quick,
just
presumably.
phenomenal, phenomenal. And but I've got all the gear, so I've got all the stuff and the body armor and all that sort of stuff.
So it's basically a motorbike then, dirt biking, really.
It
'Cause
is. It's
you can't go that fast dirt biking anyway, can you? You can only do about 40 miles an hour before you
Can't
start
even do
falling off.
that. Yeah, most of the time it's quite technical and you're going 2 or 3 miles an hour
Mm.
getting, going through the trees and that. But you can do jumps and which I don't do very much of. Anyway, it's been awesome. But it's nearly everybody in our sort of age group that are there. When I go like in the middle of the afternoon, there's like 12 guys that are in their 60s and 70s.
Well, mammals, as they call
Retire,
them.
yeah, yeah, how doing it. But then you go at the weekend and there's a bunch of kids, and that's why I wanted to do it because I wanted my 8-year-old to learn how to do it, because the skill of having that I think, is really great to for when you're on the road in a
Have you joined a
car.
club, or have you found the tracks on your own?
Yeah, I just found a place down Metcalf Motorcycle Park on the 85 and 101, so southern San Jose. It's 20 minutes there, $6
Oh,
to
you rent
ride.
the bike.
No,
Oh, you
to
bought it.
to
Right.
the it's a state park.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I'd
It's
like to do
awesome.
that.
Yeah, you should. A friend of ours is thinking about it, but we shan't mention his
What,
name
the
because
one
he's
who's
quite
going through a midlife crisis? Oh,
thinking.
right. Okay.
Yeah,
Would you have to be more? Yeah, you have to be more specific. I think we know lots of people like that.
another time. So that's what I've been up to. And what about you, Mr. Beresford?
Well,
Move
I've
recently?
moved house, guys. I mean, that's a pretty hefty thing to do, and I think that you certainly, the older you get, the harder it is in terms of just the physical labor that goes into it. We've pretty much unpacked the entire house. We're loving it. We're certainly loving the sun that we came into, but we've had torrential rain for the last couple of days. So we're starting to see, particularly in my studio, where all the leaks are,
Yeah.
the water coming in.
Oh,
So it's sort of
it was really heavy here as well. Unbelievable for
we
about
had
4 or 5 hours.
yeah, we had a week's rain in 3 hours. It was
Yeah.
like it was biblical. So it was pretty hectic. But what you'll be pleased to know is, having been on a pickleball hiatus for the last couple of weeks, I played on Sunday and we played again last night. There's a local little club, a bit like La Rinconada in Los Gatos, where
Mhm.
you could just pitch up. You become a member, but then you can go to open play on a Tuesday evening, 4 till 6, and it's $6 for residents. So it's nothing. And they've just had these brand new courts put in.
Mm.
And what it's done is it's attracted people from the local community, and a bunch of different people of different ages and certainly different skills. And what I've noticed is that if you come from an area where pickleball was as popular as it was, and coming into an area where it's really new and embryonic and people are learning the rules and learning how to play, it's good and bad. It's great
Are
for
you a
the ego.
superstar now?
Oh, but like by massive amounts. And Jules was probably, I'd say, comfortably the second best player there. And then we went from, it was sort of open play and winner stays on, and then different people were playing us. And then I think the fourth team that came up or fourth pair that came up said, "Oh, it's the power couple." And I
Oh,
think that must have made Jules feel fairly good. For once, I wasn't really yelling at her to play well because I mean, whatever she did, it was better than the opposition. So good and
Well,
bad.
I've been playing quite a lot this. Now, I've decided to give up football for the time being because I get injured playing football. I don't get injured playing pickleball, so I'm playing now 3 or 4 times a week and massively improving my game. So I'm really pleased about that.
awesome.
And that's good. But my point and my segue being that a lot of these people that are playing in the evening, sort of 4 till 6, are in their 60s, and they're trying a new sport for the first time. And that's really insightful in that what we've all discovered that pickleball does is it just democratizes sport. It brings people into a sport that they've never played and also maybe not even been sporty throughout their lives, but they've been given an opportunity to play and come into something completely new and meet new people and all that kind of stuff. And it sort of just got me thinking really that we're doing exactly the same. Big life changes at a certain age feels really daunting, but plucking up the courage just to pick up a paddle and go out there and try a new sport is really good. And there is something about pickleball that's so inviting and welcoming versus the sort of, something like tennis. And actually, interestingly, we're looking at a club locally called the Claremont, which is a bit like the club that we've been playing at in Los Gatos. It has that same sort of vibe.
Is that the
But I'd be
hotel?
very,
Is that the
it
hotel?
is, it
Yeah.
is, it's the hotel, but it's got this sort of amazing sort of sports grounds and
Right.
tennis and that kind of stuff. Like I think they even call it courtside. So it's has that same vibe, and it'd be very interesting to see what the energy and the spirit is like in that part of the community versus something that feels a little bit more like why I got into pickleball in the first place. It's a little bit, I would like to say, down and dirty. You don't feel like you're standing on ceremony and it feels posh and elitist. It feels in this local community feels really, really nice and as I say, sort of welcoming.
So you've been handing out business cards for coaching now?
Well, no, I've been on an app called Coach Me Too. I think it's called Coach
Oh
Me
yeah,
Too.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've applied for it for coaching positions here, so I can work remotely here and work pretty much anywhere in the Bay, which is really good. So it's a great way to promote that what we're doing
Yeah.
through the special pickleball service and the idea of working remotely, hence doing these pods remotely. It'd be great to be able to do them from a court. Be great to be able to do them in sort of pretty much anywhere we are, as well as in a studio. So we've got the flexibility of both. Um, I
Do you
think I'm
think
quite
that?
proud of us. We've got a combined age of what did we say, nearly 200 between us. Um, and when we're out there learning new tech and learning new skills and all that kind of stuff. And for me, it's that reminder that it's never too late to do these sorts of things, to step out and try something completely different.
But
So
that is one of the
200.
wonderful
Sorry,
things.
I'm not very good at maths, but where did you get that from? Sorry.
120 plus 50,
Yeah, it is.
170.
Yeah, that's not 200, is it? Okay, I was
Well, it's
wondering
pretty
where you were
damn
getting it
close. I
from.
mean, to
That's a long way off. Jesus.
Well, 170 is still quite a big number.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So also, it's part of being accepted into the sort of Berkeley scene, having a stupid haircut because you've suddenly gone a razor head.
It's it's one of those things that you just take a leap of faith and you go out there to a new barber. And this guy spent an hour and a half cutting this. I just asked for a bit of a fade. And I came out looking, I went in there pretty confident, came out looking like Tommy Shelby. The other thing is, it was still Los Gatos prices
Oh,
for
was it?
Right.
like
Yeah.
$80. Like,
Things are a lot cheaper there than are they? Generally.
well, you'd think so. I mean, certain things are, but certain things are just, it's just Bay Area prices. It
Well,
doesn't
there's a
really
lot more
matter.
competition there, isn't there? So they have to compete a little bit. There's a lot more competition with restaurants and bars, presumably.
And that's a big sort of cultural difference, massive amount of bars
Mm.
and
Hmm.
restaurants and
And they
things
have to
here.
cater to the students. They can't be that expensive.
No, so they're not that expensive, but also there is a vibe, that kind of stuff. So various frats that you'll find in the on and around the campus. So
No, but
there's
remember not
definitely a
to stand outside rubbing your thighs. You've been told about that before.
oh, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I mean, I think my kids will keep me very much at arm's length with any of this sort of stuff.
Have you made any
Um,
friends yet?
no, no, no,
Well,
not
that's the
really.
advantage of pickleball, right? Is that you're going to start meeting people that could turn
Are
in.
people as friendly there? Do they say hello to you in the street?
Hello, hello, hello.
What's interesting about here is that there's a little common just literally opposite our house. So it's got a massive rock with people use as training to rock climb. Then it's got a little green, and people walk their dogs up there. So it's got that real community vibe. So people bring their dogs up there for a little walk, and there's loads of people just stop and say hi. In fact, when I moved in, someone said, "Oh, well, you're here," and hi, and I come from 2 blocks away to just to
Hmm.
walk around this area, and it's yeah, I think they're the same sort of it's the same sort of California welcome.
Has anyone brought you cookies yet?
Any what?
Cookies. Has anyone brought you biscuits? But
No, actually,
no,
no.
very
But someone
American
did put
thinking.
a letter in our letterbox welcoming us to the area. We live next door. And by the way,
Ah.
can you cut the pine tree down in your back garden?
I'd be wary of the person who greeted you from 2 blocks away. They sound slightly stalkerish, I'd say.
Well, maybe. Maybe she's heard about Coach Beresford, you see, and that's the reason why I escaped Los Gatos. And
One of the things you could do is just hold a little party, like a welcome, we're in the neighborhood, come and meet us sort of thing to find your neighbors, see what
what,
they're all
pop a note through their letterbox type thing. Yeah, could do. I
about.
don't think it's the sort of thing I'll ever really do because I'm a bit too shy. So I'm so
Come on, you
sure.
hate people. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, not prejudiced. I just literally hate everyone.
Let's hope. Hopefully, you'll find a Roger somewhere in the, one of the.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, our first, well, actually, our second night here, they came down. They came for homecoming. So it was Cal's
Oh, I
homecoming
saw that
football
photo.
match, and that was I think I sent you a picture of that. There's what 62,000 in the stadium. They came down and watched it. It was really good. We watched the first half and then decided we were bored, or we decided upon Roger's behalf that we were bored and went back here for a few drinks and whatever. And that was lovely. And it is I suppose it's true really. You only know what you got when you lose it, don't you? And not having Roger and Jill next door it is a bit of a wrench, I have to say. But
Yeah, I think
I
that.
think we're going to see you in a couple of weeks as well, aren't we? We're going to kind of come up on the end of the month because we've got
for our
some.
big show.
No, no, no. We're going to come up because we're going Danville or something at some
Oh,
point. So
okay, yes,
we're
yes,
going to
yes. So
come
you'll be
and
down here.
we're going to stay at the Claremont, I think,
That would
and
be awesome.
catch up with you. That should be good
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, we'll come over and get you. So drive you around the area and you can see, where we're living and that kind of stuff and
Yeah,
see the
cool.
studio and whatever.
Hey,
I'll
I've got
take
a
you to the
rule. I've got a rule question for you, Philip.
Oh, rules. Oh,
Yeah, only because it was brought up at our Monday mixed, and someone said, "So you're on the baseline to serve.
yeah,
Someone served outside to the right of the baseline, outside the court,
hmm,
and hit it in, and someone said that's illegal. You can't do that. You have to
right.
be within the 2 lines. Is that
Yeah.
correct?"
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah, you got to be inside the two straight lines. Imagine the
Yeah.
lines down the side keep going.
Yeah.
Just stay inside
Okay. Well, that's good.
when you strike it.
They question that because it does make sense, I think, because you can put a lot more spin and angle on it if you
Then
throw
you
it
could
outside
get
the court.
exactly. You could stand right next to the edge of the kitchen, almost outside,
Yeah.
if you were allowed
What
to.
what about bouncing it into the court before you serve? Now, I've heard
Do that.
at certain tournaments you're not allowed to do that either.
Oh, I don't know about that, but you're allowed to bounce the ball wherever you like as long as you're not standing inside when you
Yeah.
hit it. You can follow through inside, but you can't
Yeah,
stand.
no, some tournaments I've heard you're only allowed to bounce it outside the court before you hit it. So I don't know if that's
Hey,
true or not.
Barry, what do you think about that, Mr. Beresford?
So it's true. You can bounce it inside the court, but you have to be both feet outside of it. And of course, you've mentioned the lines. It's absolutely true. In fact, our mutual friend Tingle steps onto or over the line repeatedly. So I said to him, he said, "Oh, just tell me when I do it so that I know." And I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll tell you when you don't do it." Because it just
Well,
so
you know, the reason why he does that is
go on
because
then.
their backyard court, which we're going to interview him in a little bit, but their backyard court has very limited backswing space. So you actually are allowed on their court to come into the court when you serve. Otherwise, you're going to hit your racket against the fence many times from one end. So I think he's used to being closer to the
Yeah,
line.
he's like the equivalent of, the guy who used to have the snooker table at his house, and you couldn't take a shot without without up his,
Yeah,
and it always used to get backspin on it, and you couldn't get anywhere. So it's equivalent
I
of
do
that, but
remember that.
pickleball. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did want to bring up is, as I say, people making you feel pretty welcome. I've had the odd insult thrown at me. Oh my God, what part of Australia are you from? Which a lot of people seem to say. I have no idea why.
No, I
Okay.
know why. Because sorry to interject, but it's because they don't expect English people to look like us. They expect them to look like Sherlock Holmes, the deer stalker.
Praise from you is indeed gratifying.
So when they see us maybe looking slightly brown and not looking like a detective with a pipe in their mouth, they assume we're Australian. That's my theory.
Okay,
Mm.
very,
I
very
think is
right.
they just can't discern between the accents, the British, the Australian, and the South African. So I just don't think it.
Pretty freaking, I mean, that's pretty
I know you'd think you could,
extreme.
it's a little bit easy to wicked it, but
Yeah.
it can't do it.
What
I'm
was
not
that?
going to do
Welsh?
that. My wife is South African and she'll hit me if she hears this. No,
That's
so
right.
what I wanted to say is that so people are welcoming, all right, they make, they make the mistake of thinking, well, straight. What do you think of the Ryder Cup experience with the fans? Especially you, Montgomery. I bet, I mean, we had a bit of a text banter and exchange on that. What was your feeling about that? Because I mean, this is sports rivalries all over the world, isn't it? And it can be as local as your local
Which sport is
pub.
this?
I discussed this with some friends, and I believe it's because the Americans, they're not used to international sport. They have their own games, they keep their own games, and they play them. The World Series, obviously, baseball. They're not used to international sport. They don't ever play anybody else except for soccer ball. They play people in that, and then apart from golf, what else do they have apart from the
Olympics.
Olympics? Yeah, slightly different. So I think culturally they're not used to international sport. But I mean, it's golf for goodness sake. Pretty much everyone was disgusted. But the thing is, I loved it because it backfired on them. Apparently, the captain of the European Ryder Cup team had quotes. He had films of all the things that they've been said. I mean, they were so rude to the Irish fella's wife, unbelievably rude. So he played all this stuff before, which motivated them, and that's why they won. So only just in the end, my
So
hasten to add.
it is interesting, isn't it? Because I heard that it was like it was a minority in the crowd, but of course the media, being the media, wanted to pump up the really negative and really actually really bad stuff. You're right, Rory McIlroy got abused, and some of the really abusive fans said that well, the reason why we did that is actually we love him. He's amazing, and we're just trying to put him off his game a little bit. And they said, well, it's he perhaps you stepped over the line a little bit with what you were saying, but.
Mhm.
You're right. It had the opposite effect, and we've discussed this before about playing under pressure and choking and that kind of stuff. And I thought it was that in a weird way, it might have actually been quite good for the game of golf in that it raised the pro. People were tuning in to listen to to some of the raucous behavior. But I tell you what, though, a lot of American fans were deeply embarrassed. Like we as English fans are deeply like mortified when you hear about racism from the stands and that kind of stuff. It's
Mhm.
I
horrific.
don't think it did them any favors abroad, and I say them. I don't think it did this country any favors abroad because everyone's already got a view of a typical American at the moment, and for that to happen on a worldwide stage really didn't help matters at all. It's a shame because I know people aren't generally like that. People are probably better behaved and nicer here than they are in England.
Yeah.
So
What was interesting? I don't know whether you heard about this, but after the victory, Trump texted Rory McIlroy on his own, and then Rory McIlroy read out the text to the entire team, which he didn't share what he said. But it was obviously something flattering. And then they did that, oh, are you watching? Oh, are you watching? Oh, are you watching Donald Trump? And then tweeted out, yes, I'm watching. Congratulations. I thought that was a really, really strong show of sportsmanship, I have to say. I thought that was because he obviously he's pumped up the crowd to a degree because he wants to see a US victory. He's a massive
Yeah.
golf fan, but
Mhm.
I thought what he did in that moment was actually
Yeah,
really
that's pretty
quite special.
commendable. Yeah, absolutely. But I think there are some sports where it's like saying, imagine if at snooker tournaments, I mean, it happens at darts, obviously, everyone at darts goes mad. But imagine if it happened at snooker tournaments, this sort of behavior. It's just there's some sports I think you can't really do this at all, and golf's one of them. I don't like golf
But
personally. I hate it, but I just think it's the only time I ever watched golf was the Ryder Cup. But
so when you see tennis broadcast from the US Open, you do see a lot of that kind of behavior. You see like people getting on the back of maybe a Djokovic. So a bit of a pantomime villain, so they get on the back of them, especially if they're being obnoxious.
Yeah.
Do you think, I mean, as we see pickleball grow, I mean, what's different about pickleball is you have music, there's a completely different vibe. It's almost like beach volleyball meets tennis in terms of the vibe and the energy, right? So are we, when you get into sort of tournaments and that kind of stuff, are we starting to see that kind of banter, that kind of fan engagement with the sport? Because it doesn't look like it's made the LA Olympics, which I think is staggering considering cricket's in the Olympics in
yeah,
20.
unfortunately, you have to apply, I think, 4 years ago or something. So I'm sure they'll be in the next Olympics,
Yeah.
wherever that
But
is, Saudi Arabia, whatever.
it's gonna happen, isn't it? Because the kind of people that we get in pickleball tend to be not your tennis circuit cucumber sandwich brigade. You do get the a little bit more, well, I'm gonna drink a few beers as I'm playing brigade. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking about the abuse and that, have you seen any of that in our recreational pickleball games?
Well, not from the sidelines. No, I'm not seeing that. That's only banter, which is good. A little bit of banter is good, and that's only amongst friends. I think I've seen it. I haven't seen complete strangers have a go at someone on the court. That would be unacceptable. They'd have to be told off. I've seen it on the court.
Yeah.
Sadly, I've seen people taking it far too seriously. Recently, someone did far too seriously in a match and was moaning at their partner for missing a shot. Just unacceptable behaviour completely. So on the court, yeah, I've seen it, but not off the court. Anybody of you?
I haven't seen, I don't think I've seen anything off the court. It's really, like you say, just banter. Like if you're playing down and on our courts and then you look up to where they're playing ping pong up in the viewing gallery, then sometimes there's things that are shouted out from up there that are quite comical. So I love that aspect of it, people making fun of you and that. Haven't seen anyone get angry at anyone from the
I
outside.
think
No.
when it goes back to international again, I mean, if there was an international pickleball tournament, England versus USA, it would get raucous. Of course it would. So I think it's the international thing. I think it's the patriotism. I think it's the xenophobia, which makes these things more aggressive, personally.
Yeah, xenophobia might be a bit harsh, I think. I'm not sure whether xenophobia comes into it. I think there's just patriotism and over the top pride and a desire to win, isn't there? And we've talked about particularly the Americans' desire to win over and above us from an English point of view.
Have you found it interesting that in England, cities and that there's so much rivalry between cities, and it's a lot less here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I've never thought about that.
And teams playing against each other, like LA's playing against some San Francisco team. It's well, I guess it's harder to travel as well, right? Like in England,
Yeah,
you go to every game
sure.
wherever it is. So there's and you take the pride of your city with you. And like back in the day when we were growing up, it was such a violent place. I remember being just in somewhere like Plymouth, and then like I don't know, whoever came down, Bristol came down to play, and I had to hide in the shop, because
Yeah.
just being chased down the street if you had any sort of, you
We
know,
used to we used to take a train to Haywards Heath from Horsham to have a fight at the station. There wasn't even a football match on. How mad is that?
and the
Apparently, I'm going to Palo Alto versus Los Gatos High School football in a couple of
Oh,
weeks.
oh,
Apparently, that gets very heated.
it
Apparently, there's
does.
no,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
basketball.
No, football.
but heated in the once you're in the stadium.
No, there's fights. Apparently, Nick was saying
Really?
there's fights.
What, parents?
Yeah, parents
Yeah.
fighting. So that should be interesting.
I haven't seen that.
Hey,
Yeah, they
listen, we
sort of
got we
pelt
got
each other, with hummus, that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
They're
yeah. The
sort of
throat, you got hit in the side of the head by an avocado. So we better get back to pickleball because we've got 5 minutes. We're on a time thing with these.
Okay.
Have we got anything? Have you, Coach Philip? You've been coaching all
Yes.
week. Have you noticed anything? Any
The problem with
new shots
pickleball,
or?
the problem with pickleball, where we are right now and this week is the weather, right? So
Yeah,
it all sort of shuts down. So my coaching has all been cancelled because of the rain. So I've been
and it's
able to,
very important not to risk it, isn't it? As well. I
it's
mean,
re
it's a
yeah,
little bit
as
slippy.
soon
You
as
can put yourself back 6 months. You'd fall over.
as soon as it starts sprinkling on the courts, it starts to get slippery.
Mhm.
No, it's really dangerous. And for a lot of people, the risk of slipping at that age is
Mhm.
a big issue. Whereas when we were younger, you wouldn't feel so bad about that, and you could sort of cope with it and react quickly, and the risk of injury is lower. But yeah, with this population, it's more of a problem. So I haven't had too much to do with pickleball in the last 5 or 6 days. Actually, it's been disappointing.
so
Does that
you
mean we're
know
going to
what?
have nothing to talk about during the winter period?
Well, I can end it on a high in that the area here has embraced pickleball to the extent now that open play 3 days a week is, I think, 6 till 8 in a school sports hall. So
Oh, right.
so they're renting out sports halls, which I think is a
That's
really
great.
great way for the schools to earn money, and of course a great way to get the sport into the
Yeah, be
community a
careful.
bit
That
more.
that surface is so rough on your knees, so be a little bit careful. That
Oh,
that ba
because
that basketball
sorry,
surface.
Montgomery, weren't you telling me this week about on top of a parking
Yeah,
lot at the airport or something?
yeah, amazing. This guy turned up at the Bay Club. He's 5.3, right? And he was
That's not height, that's
yeah,
level of
he was
player.
quite short, but he was relentless. I watched him for a bit, and he was relentless. It was
Yeah.
just efficient, into the kitchen every single time.
He
Patient.
asked you to play with him. Why didn't you
Yeah,
go and
yeah.
play?
Well, because someone else took my place.
Oh,
Thank
that's
goodness.
right. That guy
Thank goodness.
swooped in.
Yeah, he swooped in. But anyway, he said that he goes to London a lot, and this is fantastic. Heathrow Airport have built pickleball courts on the top of one of the multi-story car parks. So you can go there before a flight. He goes there, plays 2 hours of pickleball, gets on a flight, exhausted, falls asleep.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Right.
And also, what a great ending to the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, I better see us out, I think, because
Okay.
otherwise we're going to get
Well,
shut off, and that's very unprofessional. Anyone got anything to say?
I was going to say it's goodbye from me then.
Yeah, well, goodbye from me, Montgomery. And you
Um,
know where to find us on Apple and YouTube.
and it's a goodbye from me, and be lucky.
Very lucky.
Very nice. Well, it's been an absolute joy doing this over Zoom, trying new things even at our age, boys. Really good stuff.